Our space has no real name, but it's the interior area surrounded by Donovan, Johnson, and Hagen halls, as well as K-Lair. It has a lot of walkways and some grassy areas, some planting beds, a lot of concrete ledges for seating, tables and chairs, and the plantings are mostly bushes and small trees. There's also some verticality to the space in that there are some steps, ascending ledges, and inclined walkways. It's closed in by buildings on all sides, and there are also some secluded areas for seating. Here's an aerial overview of the space. It is everything within the red outline. It's surrounded by the Academic Science Building, the Willie T. Library, and the 90, so you see a lot of people cut through the space just getting between these places. And the fact that the space is surrounded by 3 residence halls means you see a lot of people coming and going from their dorms, as well as sitting outside to do homework and eat. As you see here, there's really only one straight walkway in the space, which goes all the way through the middle of it, but most of the walkways are curved, which gives the space a more natural, less rigid feel. The concrete ledges and the movable seating give people somewhere to sit and do homework, eat, or just to socialize. Strategic placement of trees, seating, and some tables create some social areas and some secluded areas. The space seems to have multiple purposes, which are the efficient circulation of people from the surrounding streets and buildings, and to be a nice space to gather or work for the residents of the dorms. And the planted trees and bushes are there to look nice, but they also serve a purpose. The trees and bushes here are being used to hide this electrical box, which is a much cheaper alternative to moving the box. Here's an example of one of the raised planting beds outside K-Lair. Here are the ascending brick ledges which are used for seating. These are the 2 main areas of use in the space. The lower red area is used for homework as well as students just gathering and hanging out. And the upper green area is used for homework as well, but a lot of people will also eat K-Lair or other meals at the tables outside. Here are some people in the circular lower area using the movable chairs to sit and do homework, and here are some people outside K-Lair using the tables to have meals. Most people just use the space to cut through and get to another area, but the people who do stay and sit are the residents in the dorms or K-Lair customers. It's not very sticky for the people just walking through, but it is for the nearby residents. In the morning and midday, all you'll see is people walking through getting to class, but the tables do get a lot of use during lunchtime, and activity in the circular area doesn't pick up until most classes are over. The weather does play a big role in the use of the space because about half of the circular area is shaded for most of the day because of the surrounding buildings. Naturally, people will try to sit in the sun on cooler days and in the shade on hot days. This could be choosing a seat in the shaded or sunny area or even moving one of the chairs. People are constantly coming in and out of the dorms, and there's always people walking to and from the surrounding buildings, and most of the traffic occurs on the long straight path. This dirt path shows that the concrete paths aren't always the most direct route. It varies from foot traffic to even golf carts, and you could even spot Ned Crankshaw passing through on a bike. Most of the day consists of people just walking through, but a lot more people come out to sit once classes are over, and use of the space drops off once it gets dark, but it picks back up again at about 10 p.m. when K-Lair starts taking meal swipes. This is a somewhat social space, but it's mostly used for people to eat or do homework. The main walkway works well for people just moving through the space, but the paths to the dorm doors are less successful because you can see people walking through the grass or dirt to get a more direct route. Taking into account the most efficient ways in and out of the buildings would have made the walkways more successful, and the circular area feels too open and seating is only around the edges and it's not very inviting. We actually moved some chairs out into the center of the circular area, but they were moved back to the ledges within just a few hours.